everyone, Stephanie here, and today we're going to talk about how to properly do a plank. I love planks as a total body exercise that really helps to develop that core strength and stability. But I will tell you, it is one of the exercises that I see people doing in the gym incorrectly all the time. So we're going to talk a little bit today about how to properly do a plank. Now there are a gazillion different plank variations that you can do. Specifically today we're going to be talking about that full plank, and then I'll also show you how to do that forearm plank variation. So for a full plank, let's get started on all fours. So we're going to line ourselves up so that our shoulders are directly over the crease line of our wrists, and our hips here are going to be right over our knees. So in this position, we want to start to think about activating through the core. And when I say engage your core or activate your core, what we're really talking about is kind of lifting that pelvic floor up and in just a little bit. And then we're going to think about drawing that navel like 2 millimeters closer to your spine. So you want to engage those deep core muscles, but we don't want to constrict with our deep core muscles. So it's almost like you're giving yourself a little hug with those deep core muscles without muscling into it so that you can't breathe. So we want to think engagement and support with those deep core muscles here. So we'll draw the pelvic floor up and in. Navel comes just a millimeter or two closer to the spine. And then we're going to engage down into the floor with the hands. So imagine you've got suction cups on the palms of your hands. You're going to suction cup your palm down and draw that energy up your arm. So instead of letting it all hang out here, now I've got a little valley between my shoulder blades and I've tipped my pelvis forward and I'm arching my back. We want to think about that pushing down so that we're in a nice stable position here. So belly draws in, stabilizing through the upper body, engaging the deep core. So now we're in our plank spine position. Now, a really nice precursor to a plank, or another nice plank variation to try first, is that bear crawl position. So I want you to find this nice long plank spine, tailbone lengthening back, low belly drawing in. We're going to tuck our toes underneath, big inhale, and as we exhale, pretend you're pushing your hands an inch or two through the floor, and we're just going to lift our knees an inch and hover. So notice my spine didn't really change at all here, but now I'm just engaging and holding myself up. And then we can gently release. So that's what I want you to think about through your spine as we do a plank. So the next step for our plank, and if you're having a really hard time with plank, I suggest that you try holding that bear crawl position for as long as you can for a couple days, and then we start to work up to that full plank position. But if you're ready to try your full plank, we want to keep that same spinal alignment we had in the bear crawl. So shoulders over the crease line of the wrist, push down, belly button pulls in. So this time we're going to take our right leg, step it back, and I want you to shoot an imaginary laser beam out that right heel. So your leg is engaged, your belly pulls in, but your shoulders are still right over the crease line of the wrist. Big deep breath and a big leap of faith. We're going to push the hands slightly through the floor, step the left foot back. So here we are in a full plank. Belly draws in, opening that space across the collarbones. Now what I see a lot in the gym is people want to be here in plank because they're thinking, oh, straight line, crown of the head all the way down to my heels, so they drop their hips. In that position, you are actually having your rib cage back behind your pelvis, which is not the alignment that we want for our core. So you're actually not going to be doing as much work, and you're going to run the risk of hurting your low back. So we want to think about stacking the rib cage over the pelvis, even though we're in that plank position. So that is how we would get into a full plank on our hands. Now, some of us maybe are taking care of a wrist, or we prefer a forearm plank. So a lot of the same principles apply when you're doing a forearm plank, but instead of being on your hands, you're going to be on your forearms. Now, a note about forearm plank. Lots of us want to go here and make a triangle. Instead of making a triangle, I want you to think the number 11 with your arms. This is going to help put the shoulders where we want them to be and really help you access into that core strength and stability. So we'll come down onto our stomachs. Forearms make the number 11, and you're going to push evenly into the floor with the forearms. And I want you to think about sliding your shoulder blades down and away from your ears. So instead of being here, we're going to slide them down and away. And again, we're going to engage the core to lift that navel just a few millimeters up and in towards the spine. So we've got that core engagement. We're going to push down. And to get into this one, I want you to exhale, and we're just going to lift the hips here. So now we're coming into a kneeling plank. So imagine I've just put a tray of coffee on your back. You're going to try not to spill a drop here. For some of us, this is where we want to hang out in our plank, because this is plenty of challenge, keeping the shoulders away from the ears. Abs are nice and strong. If you want to, though, you can tuck your toes. And without moving anything else, we extend the legs. Breathing deeply here. Releasing yourself out, walking yourself in. So those are your two basic planks. Now there are so many different plank variations that you can do once you start to get really, really, really good at the basics. So I hope that that helped you learn how to get properly into a plank so that you can add this fantastic exercise into your workout routine. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure you hit that little thumbs up icon. And if you haven't already, please go ahead and subscribe. I will see you next time. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Bye.